Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Mindful Movements. I was trying to get us a landscape mode, but it looks like I need to be in portrait mode. So give us just a second while we fit the phone into the frame. Today's Mindful Movements, okay, it's going to be handheld. Today's day 2 is about mindful movements. And the reason that I wanted to do this for today's session is because very often we love the idea of sitting down in absolute stillness to do a meditation, but it's not often possible for us. We have a million thoughts racing through our minds. We're sometimes simply too agitated to do it. In that case, it is helpful. In fact, at all times, it is helpful to incorporate some sort of movement. And when we are moving anyway, we can use that very easily to make that a meditation in itself. Now, what is mindful movement meditation? Essentially, it's the idea that we are enjoying the present moment. As my teacher Thich Nhat Hanh says, we have nowhere to go, we have nothing to do, and we have nowhere to reach either. So in a mindful movement, there is no end game, it's just enjoyment of the moment. So there are many different kinds of ways that we can do it. Today I thought we'll try a couple, and I'll give you ideas for some more, and I would love to hear your ideas as well for mindful movements. I'm going to use the 10 mindful movements that we practice in Plum Village. That's the practice that I study under, partly, but we have so many of our own right here in India. So I'll invite you to share those ideas as well. Joining me today is my lovely husband Vivek, who, hi Vivek, he's been my biggest support, and he does follow my lead on a lot of fitness and mindfulness stuff, and he's totally rocking it. So what I'd like for you to do, I hope everybody's wearing comfortable clothes. This is lovely to do on grass, in which case if you're barefoot and you can feel the grass, that adds a different element of mindfulness to it. Today the ground is really hot under our feet, so we're wearing shoes, but you can do this anywhere. We're going to do the movements very slowly, a little faster than we actually do it at the monastery, but we are city people right now and we are short of time. So we do like just 4 or 5 counts of each movement, and there are 10 movements in this particular sequence. Movement number 1. I'm not going to give you too many instructions. I'd like you to just follow to the best of your ability. The whole idea is that we don't want your busy thinking brain to be working. Follow me. There's no real right or wrong. It's just what feels good to your body. Use modifications if you cannot stand or bend or touch your toes or anything like that. It's nothing very strenuous. The idea is pure enjoyment of the moment. So that's it for instructions. Let's get going. Movement 1. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. A smile is good. Out breath. Second movement, hands all the way up. In, stretch, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Third mindful movement, fingers on your shoulder. In, out. In, out. In, out. Keep the smile. In, out. fourth mindful movement. We're going to rotate with our arms. Go as far as you're comfortable. In, out. Reverse, in, out. In, out. In, out. Now we put our legs apart and we're going to bend forward and reach up. Hands on your hips first, and let's begin. In, out. Stretch up. In, out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gets a little technical here. Heels together, toes apart. Do this to the degree that you're comfortable. Use a variation. You don't need to stay up on your toes all the time, but this is going to be a toe raise. So in breath, squat. In, squat. In, out. In, out. Now we're going to put our legs apart again, hands on your hips, and we're going to do a full torso rotation on an in and out breath. So it's in, out. Reverse, in, out. Enjoy it. In, out. In, out. Come back to yourself. Eighth mindfulness movement. Feet together, hands on your hips. We're going to raise our right leg, toes pointing down. It's going to be a fun one. In, out. In, out. Alternate. In, out. In, out. One more. In, out. Oops. In, out. In, out. In, out. Other side. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Now we're going to make circles with each leg. Again, slowly and with the full in-out breath. Toes pointing down, in, out. Reverse, in, out. In, out. In, out. Left leg, in, out. Reverse, in, out. In, out. Reverse, in, out. Last one. This one's my favorite. We're going to stand with our legs wide apart and we're going to do a sweep. In, out. Left side, in, out. in, out, in, out. 2 more. In, out, in, out. Last. In, out, in, out. And now I'm going to show you what walking meditation looks like. Now, again, the rule to remember is that it's not about the destination that we want to get to. Okay, I'm a little breathless. How are you feeling, Vivek? Great as always. The idea for us is to be conscious of every step that we're taking. Enjoy what's around us. Take it in without passing any sort of judgment on it. So, if you observe the heat, yes, it's hot, but not that, oh, it's so hot, I'm feeling hot. That's the difference. That's observation versus judgment. And in that, you'll be able to see how different things start to look once you stop attaching judgment or feeling to it. The movement itself is quite deliberate. Do keep in mind that walking meditation can even be done at bigger speeds if you need to be done, but the idea is to be present. And that the thoughts in our head are essentially, I am aware that I am walking. I am aware that I'm walking. Feel free to stop and smell the roses where you see them, literal or metaphorical. And in terms of movement, a professor at the monastery once told me that he said, think of it in terms of an hourglass, and the sand is simply flowing from one leg to another. Okay, so feel the weight of that, and that's how graceful the movement is. I like to think of it personally as a slinky, you know, the kids' toys, which, what kids' toys? I think everybody plays with a slinky, where the weight moves from one side to another on a spring. Either ways, the idea is deliberate movement and grace. So, Vivek, will you follow me on the mindful walking? We're just simply going to walk. Feel your heel and toe. In, out. In, out. I hope I'm still in frame. Out. In, out. Pause for a moment. Stop. Look out. And just look. Just observe. I have a drumstick in front of me. In, out, in, out, in, out. And that's all there is to it. How are we doing for time, guys?
We've got 7 minutes to go.
7 minutes to go. Okay. Vivek, thank you so much for joining me on this. Let's take a few questions and we'll discuss a few more ideas on this. Thank you all for joining me on this. What I might do is I will just sit in the shade a little bit so that I can see the questions. There's too much of a glare right now. For those of you who follow my YouTube channel, you might recognize this background. Sometimes when it's not too noisy, we do a few videos from out here. Usually there's simply too much traffic noise to be able to do it, but these are some of the blessings that we get with the lockdown that we have on us. Thank you everybody to all of those who have been watching. There's another series of movements that we have right here from India, which is deliberate, which is breath-based. Any guesses what that is? Which would make for wonderful mindful meditation? Any guesses for what that could be? What Indian movement sequence can we use for mindful meditation? Slow, deliberate, and breath-based. Any thoughts? The Surya Namaskar series, right? Now, this isn't about power yoga. Again, you can do just 1 or 2 of them, do 3 over a course of 10 minutes, and that's your mindful movement right there. Because we're focusing again on the breath, and we're focusing on the deliberateness and really enjoying the process. I'm personally loving how my body is feeling right now. It's very hard to feel stressed when you're also focusing on your breathing, looking at the scenery around you, and just getting in touch with your body. There was a lot of agitation even this morning. I know for a lot of us there's fatigue from the amount of bad news that's pounding us from different sources. So whenever you feel overwhelmed, this is a great exercise. This is a great way for us to dispel hormones. This is also a great prep or precursor to a sitting meditation. I personally have found that there's just no point sitting down when you're highly agitated. Like I said even earlier, this is a great way for us to dispel those sort of hormones. Like I said, if there's any problem that you have physically, it's perfectly fine to devise your own. Tai Chi is another great practice that we can use. The movements are mindful. Oh my God, I'm sweating, but not gonna give up just yet. Okay, let's see now. What are the other questions that we could have? Can we do this? I know this was a question that came in, whether we can do this like with running or with a gym workout. The thing with running is that you can do it if you achieve that state of flow. You need to be the best judge of that. Keep in mind that very often there's also an adrenaline rush that comes with running. So you need to be a judge of whether this is calming you down or exciting you further. As far as exercises go as well, there's a fair amount of exertion. There's a fair amount of testosterone, and again, you need to be the judge. If it's something that you can do with not too much effort, I welcome you to try that as well. It's your own practice. I know somebody that loves to cook. And this could be a good mindful practice as well. But the whole idea is that you enjoy every step of it. When you are cutting vegetables, all you need to do is tell yourself, I'm cutting vegetables. This is a carrot. Thank you, carrot, for feeding me and my family. I'm cutting the carrot. It may sound silly to you in the beginning, but trust me, this is an extremely powerful exercise. Like I said yesterday, the science of it is nothing other than to bring us back into the moment, for us to enjoy where we are in that moment, for us to not lose ourselves in activity. We've had this even with people who are caregivers. We often feel like we lose ourselves when we're looking after somebody. But if you make that a mindful movement, a mindful meditation, a mindful practice, you don't lose yourself. You're bringing the entirety of yourself to the practice, and you are with yourself in that moment. So that can be very powerful as well. That's pretty much all I had to say for today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing an eating meditation. So I would love for you to join me again at 12:30. We'll do this indoors and hopefully it won't be as hot then or shaky. Sorry about that. What I would like for you to bring to the meditation is either a plate of a small bit of meal like a roti and sabzi, or you can bring a piece of fruit. I'm going to be doing it with an orange, provided the oranges don't get eaten up before tomorrow. You can bring a banana, or you can bring just a bowl of dry fruit. There is a very famous raisin meditation. You can Google it. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing the actual practice of eating. And if you can incorporate this with your family, again, if you enjoy it, you will find that it is extremely powerful and also brings us all fully to the table, and you get to enjoy your meal that much more. So thank you again for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed mindful movements. Please do practice it and tell me how you're feeling at the end of it. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.